well, sir.
Let me check.
Yes, your PPT is visible.
Okay, and this session is being recorded.
Yes, sir. It is recorded and on YouTube channel connected also.
Okay. Please let me know when we would like to start.
Sure, sir. So good afternoon, everyone. This side Sanjay Swan from Social Auditors Organization.
Yeah, good afternoon. Welcome to the session. Yeah.
So, doc- so welcome to our program, Understanding Greenhouse Gas and its Impact of Society. So today's our guest faculty is Mr. Prabhu Narayan Singh. He's head E, EHS and Sustainability at Vikram Solar. So I am welcoming to Mr. Prabhu Narayan Singh sir for this program. Welcome sir and good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, shall we start?
Yes sir, we can start.
Okay, great. So, welcome everyone to the program. And this is something greenhouse gas. GHG is greenhouse gas. That is what I have written here. And in today's program, what we would like is we would understand what is GHG and what is its impact on society. So this is one of the burning topic of the today across the globe. This is talk of the town, climate change, which is real. So everybody and everything that we do here is actually we'll try to understand how it is impacting us. And what I have thought of and brought for all of you is that since most of you are social auditors and very much connected with cost and social things, social and governance thing. So and may not be exposed to the environmental aspects, the greenhouse gas accounting and all these things. So with this intention, I have brought in something which is closer to this environmental part of it, ESG. And I will not speak much with the objective that only listening is doesn't impart good learning, that too in adult learning. And if we see something happening there, it has a bigger impact, and we take a lot many things with us after the session. That is why I have brought few of the videos for you. And when I start any such session, I generally start with a video. So I will play a video next to first, and then we'll discuss about it. I hope this is okay to all of us. Please confirm once. Hi, unmute.
Yes, you can proceed.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So I'm
I think no audio.
okay, no audio. So what we'll have to do? Can anybody help me how to get this audio to you?
No, you can let it go, or you can just explain it. That's all. I have seen this advertisement in others.
Okay, got it. But this poem, until unless people will hear it, will not be able to make it, I think. Okay.
Sir, click on that audio icon. Let's just check whether it is full or it is on nil.
Herein?
That audio icon.
Audio icon?
Right hand side.
Right hand
side, bottom corner, one icon is there. Can you just check whether it is full or it is muted? Yeah, it is muted. Yeah.
Okay.
Now you can.
Okay. Thank you very much. And please confirm if it is coming to you.
No, still not coming. I think not coming. Anybody?
No, we can read that even that poem is coming. You can read it.
Okay. Okay, so what I'll do now is I'm stopping the share and we'll see if there is any way to get this audio along with it. No. Okay, not coming here. I'm sharing it
Welcome,
again.
parents.
Please confirm if you can hear the sound now.
Welcome, parents. We are ready to begin.
Yes.
Settle down.
Now you can hear the sound, right?
Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water, but all the water had dried up. The world was now much hotter. So Jack and Jill sat on the hill.
Your
Their
video
throats
is
were
not
so
visible.
dry. They couldn't find a
Video is
drop
not
to
visible.
drink. And one day,
Just share the video, then run it. No audio, no video, sir.
Nothing is there. Okay. Let me share this video, this audio first, and then we'll share the PPT. Okay. This video is
Welcome,
visible or
parents.
not?
We are ready to
No.
begin. Kindly settle down.
Okay. Okay, let me see if it works now. See, most of my presentations are having videos, so it is very problematic if videos are not running. Because then it would be very difficult for all of you to comprehend the things.
Mhm.
And I was not aware of this, otherwise I would have not brought videos, I would have brought content. So can someone help us fixing this? Anybody from ICMI? Your IT team, anybody there who can help us fix this? Anybody from ICMI?
Yes, sir.
So can you get your IT team or somebody to fix this?
This side, no issue, sir, actually.
No, actually, the sound is not coming from videos, which is very, very important. Otherwise, okay, let me then proceed further and let us see. This is another video, and it is. Just let me. These videos are, why this is not running? Yeah, should run now.
Sir, you can try to copy and paste the link in another page and show it to us. If you have the link.
A link for these videos?
Yes. Individual videos.
Sir, can you tell
So
me
that will play.
whether these videos are downloaded videos or we are directly paying in YouTube?
These are downloaded videos.
So what I request, sir, open the browser,
Mhm.
open the YouTube video in your browser and share that screen.
Okay.
And once you share that screen, you will get one option at left-hand side bottom,
Mhm.
share computer audio. One option will be there. You can click on that. Just try it.
Just a minute. Please come again. Share screen. I'm doing this.
First of all, you open a browser and open YouTube video in your browser.
Okay.
Then pause it and then come to Zoom and share screen. Once you click on share screen, it will give you the option.
Acha. Okay.
And from those options, you select the browser YouTube video.
Okay. Let
Do
me.
not play downloaded video.
Okay, but I have kept it here in my. Okay, I'll have to go to this YouTube
Sir,
again.
simply copy and paste in the other window and then show it to us, sir.
Okay. And while sharing, I'll have to select audio also.
Yes.
Is it visible?
The Earth's atmosphere behaves
Yes, sir,
like
now
a
it
big
is.
greenhouse,
Everything
though
is
it
okay.
traps heat in a little bit of a
And you
different
can
way.
listen also.
Gases like carbon
Audio is there?
dioxide and
Yes.
methane
Yes.
behave like a giant piece of curved glass wrapped right around the planet. The sun's rays pass straight through this greenhouse gas and warm up the Earth. Now, this warming up of the planet gives off heat energy, which radiates out towards space. And some of this outgoing radiation does not pass through the atmosphere, but is reflected back onto the Earth, effectively, kind of trapping heat like a greenhouse does, keeping the planet at about 33 degrees hotter than it would otherwise be. This is called a natural greenhouse effect. It's a good thing because without it, the Earth would be way too cold. It would not be able to support the huge diversity of life on it. So this whole special phenomenon has an even special name. As you might have guessed, it's called the greenhouse effect. Now, greenhouse effect is good, just that too much of it is bad. And the bad kind of greenhouse effect is called the enhanced greenhouse effect. So what happens over here? You might already be guessing, right? So we had this industrial revolution in the 18th and the 19th century when coal-burning steam engines were first used. So humans have been using energy in far greater quantities. Car engines, for example, work by burning petrol or diesel with oxygen in the air, make heat in a chemical reaction. You know this, it's called combustion. And as a byproduct, combustion gives off invisible carbon dioxide gas, the same gas that our bodies actually breathe out. We discard it. In a similar way, these power plants use combustion to make electricity, by burning fuels like coal and gas and oil. So they also give off carbon dioxide. So there's a lot of carbon dioxide being produced, huge clouds of them being produced in the environment. And all of these are called carbon dioxide emissions. What is coming out of the gas engines, what is coming out of the industries, all produced from burning fossil fuels. Now, what happens is this excess carbon dioxide drifts up to the atmosphere, makes the Earth's greenhouse gas just a little bit thicker. This is called enhanced greenhouse effect. And as a result, more of the sun's heat gets trapped inside the atmosphere, the planet starts to warm up. So let's just summarize this whole thing. Burning fossil fuels gives off carbon dioxide. Deforestation reduces the number of plants available to take in that excess carbon dioxide produced. So when forests are chopped down and burnt, the carbon that they have been storing is also released back into the atmosphere. So this increases the greenhouse effect, heats up the planet, the process we now know, what we call, what we understand as the problem of global warming.
To keep learning with such engaging videos, download Byju's.
Yeah, so now I'll share my screen and we'll go to the other slides. And whenever I'll have some videos, I will keep sharing those videos through this portion of the screen. Okay. Now I think. Yeah, so we have seen up to here. See, one important thing that we would like to discuss is the entire world is changing because of this. We just understood the greenhouse gas effect and the enhanced greenhouse gas and effect, what it is and how it is happening. Now, the point is, you all are from this background of accountancy and all this thing will understand the risk. And if you look at the World Economic Forum, every year they publish their report, the Global Risk Report. And this is 2022 report and a ranking. So 5 among the top 10 risks are environmental in Global Risk Report 2022. And if you look at it, the first 3 are environmental and the 7th and 8th are environmental. Other than this, there are social risks also. There are other risks, financial, economical risk, geo-economic confrontation. So all these risks are also there. Geopolitical risk, societal risk, technological risk. But the most predominant ones are the environmental risk. And actually, this is something which is creating problem and which is a matter of concern. Because it's a matter of our own existence, whether we will be there or not. So that is why it is more important for all of us to understand, and and it will have a social impact as well going forward, as on today also. And if you look at the 2023 report, World Economic Forum. And then this year, they tried to make it a short term and long term to understand what is immediately affecting us and what we can look at in long term perspective. There also, what they found is 5 are the out of 10, 5 are the environmental risks only. And then few are the societal, geopolitical, and technological risks. And if you look at the long-term perspective, you'll find 6 out of 10 are environmental thing. And the reason behind all this thing is the one that you understood in the video there. That enhanced greenhouse gas effect. So it is now very clear that greenhouse gas effect is actually the demon, the thing that we need to take care. Otherwise, it is going to impact us, everyone. impact the society and will be a concern for our existence itself. The second reason I will give you why this is most important, because financial, this economic reason, if you look at investors' interest in ESG is growing. And if you look at the assets under management, you'll find that now the assets under management who are focusing on this ESG related risk, that is increasing like anything. Other than that, if you look at ESG mandated assets, so that number is also going up. You can very easily make out these numbers. Then ESG disclosures are evolving across the globe. And if you look at those maps and those colors, you'll find that these are evolving across the globe. The other reason to look at is ESG regulations are increasing. And all this, whatever we are talking, is happening because of this greenhouse gas effect, which is in turn making this climate change to happen. So this is one of the biggest risks as on date, and regulatory landscape demanding ESG disclosures are changing. So to understand this a bit more, let us go through this video. I think you won't find audio here. Please confirm you are getting audio. Are you getting audio?
No, audio is not there.
Okay, fine. I'll run this separately.
Climate change, we have a limited amount of time to resolve it, and it concerns everyone.
The only way we can do this is we need a price on carbon.
For me, it helps to know where are the challenges and then you start to see the solutions.
Fossil fuels need to be priced to include their cost to society.
If we miss this opportunity, that means a few more years, potentially it's going to be too late.
Whether you like it or not, in 10 years and 20 years, it's going to affect you.
Are we filming?
We are filming.
Okay, cool. So climate change rhetoric has obviously, there's been a great groundswell of it. You know, you could say that like we're really turning the corner, and carbon pricing just comes up again and again and again as something we have to do.
Okay. Post-its in the wind. Can you hear me? I'm good? Oh, yeah. Since I've been getting involved in the whole climate world, I've kind of jumped into it all. Carbon pricing is like, everyone is talking about carbon pricing.
One of the things that became very, very clear to me is that we're trying to throw money and technology at the symptoms of climate change. We will be throwing finance at adaptation and mitigation, But adaptation and mitigation comes after the fact. It comes after the disease has already taken hold. So they're throwing good money into a leaky system.
So you're saying that pricing carbon is the solution for the cause?
For the cause of climate change, exactly. One of the quickest ways to accelerate everybody's solutions is to correct the global economy so that it pushes carbon-based resources out of it.
The tricky thing about carbon dioxide is that you can't see it. And it's global, it's dispersed everywhere. So the taxpayers are paying those costs. The cost of extreme weather events such as Hurricane Sandy, people have to pay that cost in their health and the cost of healthcare while they're being caused by these carbon dioxide emissions from burning fossil fuels.
And so if you take the external costs that they're creating that aren't in the price and you put them in the price, then they actually reflect their true cost to society, and then people will start choosing cleaner, like renewables or cleaner fuels, and you'll get a much faster switch.
Every country has an economy, and so every country has an opportunity to implement a carbon pricing instrument that is going to be a benefit to them. Eventually we can, what we call, harmonize those systems and link them.
There's two different versions of carbon pricing, quantity or price. Quantity is the government creates a certain amount of permits that caps the amount of emissions allowed. Companies who want to emit have to have a permit, so they have to either buy these permits from the government at an initial auction, or sometimes they're given to them at the initial kind of introduction. And then they trade these permits between companies.
Cap and trade.
It's in the title. So it creates this kind of new market of trading, which is kind of like a commodities market in that the price goes up and down depending on supply or demand. So the thing about that method is that there's a strong certainty in terms of how many emissions will be allowed, but there's a lot of uncertainty about the price. So it's hard for businesses to build that into their business model. So the other method is a price method where you tax the carbon-based fuel at the source, so when it comes out of the ground or is imported, comes across the border, and then that makes that fuel more expensive. In that case, there's a lot of certainty about the price, but uncertainty about emissions because there's no cap on how many carbon emissions we'll still be creating. But the idea is that inevitably they'll go down because companies will inevitably want to find cheaper ways of doing it, and carbon-based fuels will become more and more expensive, and therefore they'll be incentivized to look for clean forms of energy. We need to create an economic incentive for our global economy to move away from fossil fuels, and right now there is no economic incentive.
There's a lot of different ways to price carbon. You have a lot of different mechanisms for it, and within those mechanisms there's a lot of subcategories of how to do it. So we want to do it right, and like most things with climate change, there's no one-size-fits-all.
If something like carbon pricing was put in place, it would really shift things in a huge way.
Yeah, so I'll share my screen again. Yeah, and we'll discuss more on this. So what we understood in this video, that carbon pricing they were talking of. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, okay.
But screen is blank.
Screen is blank.
Yeah, I mean, there's I think the 11th page is blank itself, no?
Yeah, that
Okay.
plate page blank.
Yeah, okay.
So we understood, and what we saw that everybody is talking of carbon pricing if we have to tackle this issue, because until unless these improvements are linked with some financial incentives, and if until unless it is all the progress and the development that we are talking of, until unless it is linked with the incentives related to reduction of GHG, or making sure that the enhanced GHG effects that is actually affecting, making this climate change happen, is taken care. And for this reason, there should be some method of accounting these GHGs. So there are protocols for GHG, which says what are those emissions, how to categorize them, how to measure them, how to make sure that everybody is at the same page. And that is why there was an intergovernmental panel on climate control, and they had issued the protocol related to GHG. And herein what I have done, I have brought a few slides for you on understanding. There are three scopes: scope 1, scope 2, and scope 3 emissions. So what it is all, we will discuss a bit here. So let us go to this scope 1 emissions first, and understand what it is. This is direct emissions. So these are emissions from source that are owned or controlled by the organization. So what are the examples? Like a fleet of vehicles, the company purchases, the company owns, and then the fuel is burnt and emissions coming out of those fuels. Similarly, power plant, the thermal power plant, any boiler, any other furnaces, wherever we are using fuel directly, and it is well within our plant, well within our premises, well within our control, that falls under direct emissions, scope 1. So I hope it is clear to all of you. The only criteria is it is well under your control and well within your boundaries, which you are directly using. Then comes scope 2 emissions. These are the emissions from generation of purchased electricity. So we all use electricity, which we don't generate in our own operations, own plants. So we get through grid, and steam heating, cooling, all those things wherein we are using these electricity or the power purchased from outside. So although we are not directly emitting anything into the atmosphere, but definitely whosoever is producing that electricity is doing something. So it is a indirect emission, and that comes under scope 2. And then comes scope 3. So these are all indirect emissions, which is not included in scope 2. And why? There are few emissions which has some indirect and such a correlation that you can't establish that it is fully for you, and you can also say that it is not in my control. In case of power, you that is very well metered, that these many units of power you purchased, and it is for your own purpose only. But in any cases wherein it could be the shared thing, something coming not exclusively for you, but few other people are also using, but you have just one share, one part of it. Other than this, there could be the supply chain, the materials coming to your premises for your purpose, but you don't have control over it. You just are concerned with the material getting to your doorstep, your gates, and all those. So in those cases, but yes, definitely whatever emissions are happening in relation to your operations. So to some extent you don't have control, but you can have influence over that, and you can have some measurement around this. So those measurements, those things come under scope 3. And then put together scope 1, scope 2, and scope 3, that makes your overall carbon footprint. And unless everybody is aware of this, their overall carbon footprint, and manage it towards reducing this overall carbon footprint year on year in a timely manner, in a in a well-structured manner, we won't be able to achieve this GHG targets and the climate change targets nationally, which we have committed during this Paris Agreement. So with this intent, I had brought these slides for you so that we can understand what are these GHGs. I hope you won't be able to have this audio, so I'll skip and we'll share this the video again.
In our day-to-day life, we face small actions that can make a big difference for the environment and for our pocket. For example, when choosing lighting for the home, did you know that LED bulbs can be a great saving over conventional bulbs? They consume less, so having them turned on for the same length of time means less spending at the end of the month. This way, we can save almost $220 a year while we contribute to energy savings. For short trips, the bicycle is a better option than the car. Aside from saving money on gas, the bicycle is a zero-emissions vehicle, while the car consumption increases as you go, emitting up to 1.7 kilograms of carbon dioxide every 10 kilometers. In the kitchen, we can also reduce costs. A simple action like covering the pot while cooking is a saving of 25%, or even 50% if we use the pressure cooker. This way, we can save the money here covering the pot and using the pressure cooker. We continue taking care in the kitchen. Recycling used oil prevents severe environmental damage. Did you know that 1 liter of oil pollutes 1,000 liters of water? Furthermore, the recycled oil can be used to make soap, fertilizer, or fuel. When shopping, we can contribute to sustainability. Always look at clothing labels and buy fair trade products which guarantee respect for biodiversity and the workers who have made the garment.
Yeah, so we'll go back to the this presentation again. And we just spoke that understanding this scope 1, 2, 3 emissions, making sure in our personal lives also what changes that we can make to affect this, to reduce our own individual carbon footprints so that it adds to the total thing. And see, everybody is now aware of it and have started talking about it, working towards it. And so it is our responsibility, every individual's responsibility to start adopting a lifestyle which is good for environment, which reduces overall GHG emissions. So let us see one more video wherein one of our legend cricketer is talking about this. I will show this video and afterward we will have question answer. So this will be the last video that I'll be showing you right now.
If I'm alive and 2050 we are sitting in a similar, once they grow up, it will be very difficult for them to understand what is an internal combustion engine, because they would be driving the electric vehicles, so they may not know something that we have gone through. A lot of them are youngsters, they won't know about the cassette player. What is a cassette player? Pen drive, floppy disk. Future, there may not be petrol engine cars available. So I think it's something that needs to be enjoyed, but it's important to be very responsible also. Not to forget, I feel the electric vehicle is not the solution. How the electricity is produced is the solution. If my electric is still coming from a thermal power plant, we can't say, okay, it's green. What is important is to generate electricity that is greener and to have other sustainable things that is around when it comes to the energy aspect.
So now with this, I'll stop sharing my screen, and I'm open to all the question answer. I'm sorry that we could not run it smoothly because of this technical glitch, but I'm open to any question answer and open to all the audience.
So this is Devangsa this side, and I must say presentation was very good because it was included so much videos. My question is in scope 1, we can understand company owned resources, but what do you mean by company controlled resources? Means if something is there in my premises, I am not the owner of those resources, but if they are in my premises, so can we say those are controlled by me?
But what for these are being used, and see, if it is owned by you also, then only you should consider it in scope 1. If it is within your premises, but it doesn't belong to you, and if it is for any belongs to somebody else, you can consider it in scope 2. And anyways, if it is coming under scope 1 or scope 2, it is going to be part of your overall carbon footprint, overall kitty.
Okay.
Hope I could answer you.
But if I am calculating only scope 1 emissions, so what should I consider under controlled resources?
So what purpose it is for? If you can elaborate.
See, we are trying to submit one GHG emission scope 1 result to one of our buyer. They are asked for the same. So we are trying to calculate scope 1 emissions.
No,
So
which source you are talking of?
So that I am not sure. What do you mean by control resources? That's why I'm asking. See, in our premises, there are lot many vehicles coming in and out, and there are few machinery which we hire from outside. Okay, some contractors, they work under our premises. They come with their own machineries. So can we say those machineries are under our control, or those are not in our?
No. Owned by you. Owned by you, only you consider those in your scope 1. And the type of these sources that you just explained, let all those come in scope 2, will not be part of scope 1.
Okay. Understood. Thank you.
Sir, what are the units for calculating this one? How it is brought for year wise, or it is how it is articulated to the management?
See, it is in terms of CO2 equivalent. So tons of CO2 equivalent is the unit for greenhouse gases. And CO2 is not the only greenhouse gas. There are other 6 greenhouse gases, and every greenhouse gas has a different impact. So equivalent of everything is calculated in terms of CO2 equivalent, and then sum total of all those is calculated and is reported, so that we universally we have one unit which is which we can be compared with anybody's. So universal this unit is tons of CO2 equivalent.
Is it tradable now? It is happening?
Yes, it is tradable.
Okay. No, it was going on for the last 10 years also, but in between there are some issues.
Yes. And then now European Union has come up with something cross-border adjustment mechanism and all those things, that any product that you are exporting to European Union, they will ask you how much this carbon emission and all those things is entering into my country, my premises. And then some tax thing will also be there. So they are coming up with some cross-border adjustment mechanism sort of thing. So, and this will be very much tradable, and Indian government is also coming up with something to trade on trading. in Indian market and
Thank
globally.
you. Is published information is available for your companies and all any other listed companies?
Yes, every companies who are reporting on BRSR and others, everybody has their overall emission scope 1, scope 2, scope 3 emissions reported. And with respect to trading, if you ask, there are some public information and this trading thing, but it is not in very advanced stage and government is working on it. So hopefully it will take some time.
This classification and counting and all, is it standardized or still it is subjective?
No, it is standardized. It is all standardized.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is buying carbon credit a good practice in your view, sir?
See, in case you don't have any option and buying carbon credit is actually a way of penalizing people who are not able to do it. So buying carbon credit is sometimes it can also be viewed like incentivizing those who are doing it, who have done it more than what is required or what is assigned to them, and so that they can do it further. But
in terms of compliance, it's not a good practice, right?
Yes, that is what I was coming to. So in terms of compliance, it is better to comply and not to buy carbon credits.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyone else?
What is carbon neutral?
Carbon neutral means whatever carbon you are emissions you are generating because of your operations, you are offsetting it somewhere because of your other actions, so that your net this thing carbon is 0 and you are carbon neutral, offsetting it.
Is it really achievable, carbon 0?
It is more than achievable, I would say.
Okay. But depends on the practice the industry follows.
Depends on the practice the industry
and also
follows.
the innovations in place.
Innovations in place, yes.
You know, which type of companies they are emitting more? Their carbon just is CO2 is more. Which type of companies, if order wise?
See, the thermal power plants are the direct ones which are visible. Other than this, automotive pollutions, and then shipping industries. They are also one of the significant emitters.
Okay, thank you. In your opinion, these software companies are directly or indirectly or third level or is responsible for it?
See, depends in their directly they are not, there doesn't seem like this emitting a lot, but their travels, those who involve a lot of travels, they are indirectly this thing contributing, but those are not the biggest bigger contributors.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So how is your company contributing to achieving carbon neutral?
Okay, great. See, we are helping globally, our customers globally, to become carbon neutral by supplying solar PV modules. So number one, which is the largest way of decarbonizing individual operations. In our own operations, we are moving towards procuring our powers from renewable energy only. So we are heading towards that direction, so that our own operations become carbon neutral and we help our customers to become carbon neutral.
But how is the development of ESS happening, sir?
Development
energy
of
storage unit. Yeah.
See, this has started taking place in India in a big way. A lot many bigger companies are also coming into it. And now with this lithium battery storage at a larger scale, in megawatt scale, is also in place. So with this, this storage is also, and actually this is helping us in taking care of the intermittency of this solar and wind power.
Yeah, it may not serve the peak loads. It
Yeah.
will be standby unit, right?
Yeah, so that is why with this intention only, we are building some of this energy storage capabilities.
It's of mainly captive use, right?
Yeah, mainly captive use. Yeah, but going forward, it will be at this utility scale also.
Centralized, right?
Yeah.
Centralized.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Anybody else?
Is
you, sir.
it costly affair to make it carbon neutral?
I won't say. I would say rather it is much costlier to keep emitting. So become carbon neutral is not a costly affair, and it is just a matter of your willingness, your commitment for it.
And identification
if,
also.
if that is the case, everybody will be going for it, no?
Yeah. So if you look at it right now, everybody, all the organization, everybody has started jumping towards it, and you know. This financing, if you look at financing and ESG related financing, if you look at, and what I showed also, that the asset under management, ESG related things, ESG considerations are actually getting more and more importance. ESG related mutual funds and all those things, you people will be much acquainted with this, and you will be into it day in,
how
day
are
out.
those funds performing, sir? ESG funds?
ESG funds are performing like anything. Actually, if you analyze, ESG funds performance are far superior than any other fund.
Any government incentivization?
Lot many governments. If you look at the MNRE report, which was published a few days back for 22-23, and the way in the latest example, which is very relevant to our industry, PLI, production linked incentives. So we are part of the PLI scheme just announced by government. 24,000 crore was in first tranche, 19,500 crores was in second tranche, and then for green hydrogen and many other initiatives, government is incentivizing this shift to greener greener power, greener energy, like anything. And other than this, the commitment that we have made at global platforms, when Mr. Modi was there in COP26 in Glasgow, and this COP27, every time we have committed there that by 2030, 50% of our energy, of our power will come from renewable energy sources only. So lot many incentives in this area.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sir, what is the relevant standard for achieving sustainability? ISO standard.
Yeah, as of now, there are for sustainability, any ISO standard is not there, and as of now, number of standards, number of frameworks, number of rating, everything is there in place. But what we should be focusing is on our own regulation, our own this commandments that has.
But GRI is generally globally acceptable, right?
Yeah, GRI is one thing, but in India we should be focusing on BRSR first, because BRSR has taken care of, has considered all those global frameworks as well, and it is mandatory as on today for few bigger players, but going forward it will be mandatory for everyone. So in India, if you are operating, it is suggested to go for BRSR, and it has good this thing well thought over this thing standard and BRSR system, and it will serve all the purpose. If you meet it, you can meet all the global standards.
Sir, what about ISO 26000?
See, ISO 26000 is related to this social accountability. So this is part of ESG. And if you are reporting in BRSR, it is taken care. And ISO 26000 is an international standard, which is mainly into social area only, not covering the entire ESG gamut.
Okay.
Shall we take one more question? The
Good
last one.
afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
This is Shailendra here.
Yeah, please.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good
And,
afternoon.
Yeah, I joined a little bit late, and in fact, mid of the session I have joined, so I have not gone through the detailed session. But just in my introduction is there. I am working with Baba as a heading the again same thing, EHS, ESG, and sustainability. And we are one of the 1,000 listed company, which is mandatory, as you told just now. It is a mandatory for 1,000 listed company to report the BRSR on annually basis since 2022-23. So we are working on this, and really it required a very extensive study and data collection. And the company who is not having the infrastructure and sources for this all data, they are struggling. Even we are this time. So I think BRSR is the one of the we can say data which give you a complete understanding about the sustainability, and it will be certainly having benefit to the organization and the society as well.
Right.
As far as this from your side, are you reporting BRSR, and which are the components you are using for that?
See, if you look at my organization, we are not yet listed. We are in the process of getting listed. So that is why we are not reporting on BRSR. We are preparing for it.
Okay. So are you CDP at least you are reporting?
No, CDP also we have not signed. We have we are the signatory to UNFCCC, and we are sharing our annual report to UNFCCC, Climate Neutral Now initiatives. Other than this, we are part of many other initiatives. But as far as this formal disclosures are required, disclosure are concerned in public forums, we have a little disclosures. We are now getting ready for publishing our sustainability report and this disclosures at global.
So you must be calculating your carbon credit, and you must be positive on carbon credit because being solar company. So how much carbon positive you are there?
We are not yet carbon positive. We are because we are not taking credit of those panels that we are supplying. So that we are not. Yeah. So if you take credit of those, then you are definitely carbon positive. But we are not taking credit of those because we are just supplying as a commodity. We are not installing. We are not doing anything in that sense. So that is why we are not taking credit of those.
Okay, but
do you manufacture the panels yourself, or
yes.
you subcontract?
Yes.
Elsewhere?
Yes, we are mainly panel manufacturer.
Okay.
So one question comes, panel manufacturer. See, are you taking the life cycle assessment and like the concept of cradle to cradle?
Yes. EPD.
Yeah.
So
is it your responsibility when in case somebody want to dispose the panel because it is a hazardous item when it is being disposed?
See, we are following the Government of India regulations, and if you look at the recent this e-waste management rules, which is effective from 1st April of 23. So what the directive we have got is that you keep it with you until 34, whatever e-waste that you are generating. And for supplying, we are mostly exporting. So this therein right now until today, we don't have such obligation to take it back and recycle and all those things. So it will be after supplying, it will be on the part of customer only.
Okay. And you are doing the installation also or only supply?
We are doing some installation, EPC, but limited for limited customers and limited areas.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for all answers.
Okay, thank you. Anybody from ICMI? Can we conclude this session now? Okay, so from my side, thank you all very much for patient listening, and I'm sorry it was not it did not went in the right flow. Had it been with videos and audios, could have been very more interactive. But anyways, thank you all for being there and patient listening. I hope I could add some value to this session. And I also learned many things, and this interacted, and at least I'll have to go through this again so that I don't get into this type of trouble in my next batches and next my session. So it was a learning for me as well. So thank you all. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.